Hello and welcome to Jewels of Faith YouTube channel. The next video you're going to see is a 10-minute reflection where I share my journey in coming into alignment with God and my experiences in that process. And um, I don't want to call it a rant, but it wasn't planned or anything. But as I watched it myself, I was really blessed by it and I was encouraged by it. And I know that there will be someone out there that will be encouraged by it. And you, if you're already watching, you will be encouraged by it. Some people are lucky to come into alignment with God very early on in their lives. Some others have to go to a dark place to realize that they need to come into alignment with God. Some people just weather through and eventually get to the point where they are properly aligned. Whichever one you are, this video will help you. And welcome to my channel. I was creating content before I started having that discussion with myself. So if you see me heaving and sighing or whatever before I start, it's just because I had been creating lots of content before I started making a video of that reflection of my personal journey. Creating content is not easy, and I thank God for the grace that He has given me to do that. I know how many takes I had to do. I think this is not one of those days where one take does it all. It has been a long day, but I'm thankful for the opportunity regardless. I'm thankful for it. Um, Especially because I'm speaking about something from my heart. I'm speaking about something that I've survived and I'm sharing truths that can keep people from falling into the same kind of error. So do you often realize that when you start out working on something or building something, start out on a new venture, it's exciting, you're fired up to go for it. Along the line, it starts to get heavy and it starts to get worn out. I'm not saying that there would never be times like that, but what is the difference between those that power through and those that throw in the towel immediately? It will be alignment. What you align to, how aligned you are to your values would keep you from jumping up and down. So yeah, I have done quite a number of careers in my life. I think the very first job I had, I was someone's personal assistant. And that was an incredible opportunity till this day. We are still in touch and I honor her so much. And the next job I had was I took a banking job. I only took that job because my mom encouraged me to. And she said, it was an organization with structure and you do instruction. I do understand her saying that because of the kind of work that she did as well. Most people want structure. And besides, it's a bank. So, hey, I never wanted to work in banks. I had always cringed at being, in banks. And the reason might seem flimsy, but I think that now that I know more about myself and I'm more aligned to how God has made me, it did speak to um my general nature. Like I couldn't bear the fact that they wore the same clothes. I wanted to be stylish. Anyways, and I took the job and it was hard for me every day that I did it. But I met some incredible people along the way. So I think that's what I'll take from that. And I think for about 2 years, I I had this passion, like, and desire to be a flight attendant, just because I wanted to travel the world. So I had done some training in the past, but eventually I didn't pursue it deliberately. So while I was in the bank, actually my manager in the bank, he was the one that sent me the opportunity and I applied for it and then I started, flying around Africa. Yeah. And it was an awesome experience. The only thing was my body didn't take the flying really well. It's obviously a very strenuous job and it's much more than traveling around. It's incredible. It's hectic and you do need to be smart on your feet intellectually and physically as well. I think I thought it was going to be a pause from thinking, but no, there's so much to study as well. I didn't expect that part. So but it was an incredible opportunity. And now, after doing it for about a year, honestly, I was done with it. So the reason why I moved from banking to flying was because I wanted to be paid more and I wanted to travel. I was not asking God what He wanted me to do. I was not trying to be aligned. I was just trying to, it was self led basically, And someone might say, oh, but you need money. Yeah, I was in survival mode because at the end of the day, God is my source. So anyway, I had a nice time flying. So I think I did that for a couple of years, longer than banking because it was more versatile and I like the flexibility around the job. It could get very hectic. Yeah, like I said, my body didn't take it very well because your sleep is disrupted. It is a whenever you get on a plane next time, you want to give some major thanks and accolades to any cabin crew that you see on board that flight. It's not an easy job. They're there not just for your comfort, but for your safety as well. Anyway, after doing this job, so I thought, oh well, I've flown now. I'm tired of flying. I want to step down. So it was like I started asking, can't you sustain yourself doing something? What is the meaning of all this? But now I was not aligned. I was just chasing money. And yeah, I did make some money in flying, but after that, what next? I didn't like the way my body was feeling. And I was just tired of it. I just wanted to do something else. So I thought, okay, maybe I should go to school and further my education. I had done my first degree at this time. So I thought, well, I might as well further my education, right? And then I started looking for what to study. I had no idea what I wanted to study. My first degree, I think I just chose it because I wanted to go to that school. It's not like I dreamt of, studying international relations. No, it's international studies and diplomacy. That's what we called it. So, of course, when you study, your teacher will tell you, your lecturers will tell you what your outcome might be, and you fantasize about that a little bit. But I just gave up really quickly after trying because, like I said, what was driving me? I was just wanting to travel. I was just wanting a job. There was no core drive that came from my formation, my being, and how God has put things in me. And then I I started going to school. Yeah, I decided to go to school. Yeah, I got involved because of my exposure while flying. I got involved in like first aid and some of all that, and I found it interesting. Like, oh, taking care of people. I would love to learn more about that. And also, my grandmother was aged at the time. She's going to be with the Lord now. So I saw the way, my mom cared for her. And I cared for her at some point before I went to school. And I thought there will be so many people out there that don't, have someone to care for them. I was really moved to find out a bit more from a professional standpoint. So I went to school and I studied health and social care. And then I finished that. And that was, I'm still, passionate about that, but there was still this thing like was going on. And then I didn't get good job opportunities and I was in survival mode basically because I was trying to, be comfortable, make money all by myself, logically calculating. I was just like leaning on God when I was stressed out instead of just asking him how he wanted me to go. And yeah, after studying that, I'm like, going to work in a entirely different field. I work in tech, so an entirely different field. But I still had that yearning for people, and I quite, like love people, and this is something that I didn't really admit about myself for a long time because I do like to stay on my own as well. But I now understand that two things can be true at once. And so I started thinking, and then also like teaching, uh, I would say I was short fused. Maybe not to the extent of getting upset, but if you don't understand it, I don't know, well, you don't understand, So, but I generally think that the way that God has led me to the point where I'm now hosting live sessions and teaching what He shares, what He teaches me, because no way I would able to be able to do any of all these things is it has brought me to the point that I understand that we are only able to do what God wants us to do when we depend on Him. And I can't even believe that I'm enjoying this so much. That's because I'm not doing it because of money. I'm not doing it because I feel like talking. I'm not doing it because it's a nice thing to do. I'm not trying to validate anything. I'm doing it because God has put it in my heart to do, and I depend on Him to help me do it, to tell me what to talk about, to help tell me how to go about it. And I think, and I know that that's the reason why I've been able to sustain it till now. Are there some days I don't feel like coming on? Absolutely. Are there some days I don't know what to say until the very last minute? I hate to admit, but I actually, love when God does that, because sometimes I have like the topics, in series before us. Even in the series, I don't know what I'm going to talk about per episode. And because I know that if God were to leave me alone, I'll be done. It will be a mess. I love the fact that I have to depend on God and hold on to God. I've never been in a situation where I could completely depend on someone like that. So this is awesome. So my point is, if you're going to build anything without breaking you, your why needs to be established so that you don't waste time jumping around from one career to the other. Like I did. Well, it wasn't a waste of time because I've had nice experiences. I've learned a few things, but I could have been working in my purpose earlier. So lock in with God, get intimate with Him, get to know Him, let Him show you who you are. And then you can build without it breaking you, without it messing up your body, and without it destroying any part of you. God's blessings make rich and do not add sorrow. Build with God today. Another thing I'm going to touch on throughout the journey that I've just shared is how broken I was throughout just because I was not in alignment with God. I was broken mentally, spiritually, emotionally. And the craziest part about it is that I didn't even know it. I used to struggle to like feel my emotions, let's just say, and because maybe if they were unpleasant, if they were not surface or just so I was more focused on having a good time. So that would be what will connect me to people. Oh, we'll have a nice time together. And that's about it. I wasn't looking for anything too deep. So obviously that impacted my relationships, platonic and romantic ones, whatever. And I just didn't want to, what's that saying that you don't want to rock the boat or stir the waters. I just felt, that would be safe. But now that I've come to alignment and God has done the work on me, I realized that I was avoiding to confront some fears that I had. I was avoiding actually looking deep into who I was. So yes, I was building a life that was able to help me live well, travel and all of that. But it cost me a lot. It cost me my soul in the sense that I was broken and I didn't even know it. And also when I came to school, things were really challenging because I had to move to like a different country and all of that, all of the intricacies that come with that. So there were lots of financial challenges, and all of that. So I was so stressed and of course I was depending on myself. So I was spent more than normal and I got sick. So I'm not only talking about being broken emotionally, I was broken physically because I was sick. At some point, I couldn't even like take several steps without sitting down. And I'm quite fit, like, at size and all that. I've always been like that. So, but at that point in time, I couldn't even walk on the road. Like, I would have to like sit down and take deep breaths. I was like, what is happening? My body is breaking down, and so many other things that I can go into details about. And then, of course, I had broken relationships because I couldn't give my best. I wasn't even myself. I didn't even realize how broken I was. So I had a relationship with God, but I honestly didn't trust Him. So I still kept it on the surface. And then it was eventually, of course, everything that I thought that I built fell apart. And that's the weird thing that can happen when you think you can build without God. When you want to carry the load that God is meant to carry, when you want to go forward in life as if you made yourself, it's going to break you and you can't escape it. And trust me, I know what I'm talking about. And so everything fell apart, right? I didn't have nothing, it was all done, really. And then I thought, okay, of course, God help me, and but something about it was different this time. And I thank God every day for that journey. I thank God every day that I was that broken that He could help me and save me. In the past, I will ask God for help and God will come through. But I always had a plan just in case He didn't come through. So you see that I didn't really trust him. But this time around, there was no plan B. I know it sounds scary, and you're probably wondering, I don't want that to happen to me, but that is the best thing that ever happened to me because I got to see the deliverance power of God, the love of God. You know where it says in Hosea, I will draw you out into the desert and I will whisper to you, into the wilderness and I will whisper to you. There was no noise. And what a wilderness represents is a fertile land. Maybe I'll talk about that later. A virgin land, I beg your pardon. Land that, where nobody is and all that, it's just plain. So it was really a wilderness. It was really a wilderness. And there I was able to experience God in a way that many people only dream about. And of course, He was able to heal me, restore me, and recenter me. And now put me on a path that I never imagined I'll be on. And I was always thinking about, oh, working with God will be boring. This is this. No, 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 no. If you're looking for a thrill, this is a thrill. God is thrilling. Trust me. God is exciting, and it's awesome because you know that He's always going to be there for you. And if you're wondering, well, I want to have fun and all that. Yes, God is out for that as well. So alignment is everything, and building without God will definitely break you. And the way you can build without it breaking you is to stay surrendered to God. Stay surrendered, not just a one-time thing of giving your life to Christ. I surrender. Oh, no, 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 not like surrender day to day. Your decisions, your desires, your plans, your body. Surrender to God. Stay intimate with Him. Have conversations with Him. Like talk to God. Like talk to God. Don't dramatize. God sees your heart anyway. The funny thing also, I used to hide my emotions from God. God sees my heart. What was I doing? So no, no, no. Come clean. Come. The third thing also is when you get close to God and God starts giving you ideas and starts telling you to do things, step out and do those things. You don't have to know the beginning from the end. Remember, He knows it. And I know what it feels like to try to plan the beginning to the end. It's only going to make you sick or disappointed because it never works out how we think. But if we give it to God, God will make sure that however it works out is for our good, even if it's different from our expectations. And then, of course, um, guidance and mentorship, stay connected to people that have the values that you have, not just for a good time like I did. I did have really nice people around me. And of course, some people, even mentored me, but it wasn't in a situation where it wasn't in a situation where I was deliberate about what the relationship represented. So that's why sometimes when you haven't actually defined the kind of relationship you have with someone and you can't fault them for telling you if you're making a destructive decision because yeah, maybe you thought you would do the same. I mean, I would definitely do that if it's someone that I love and I would definitely say what's on my mind, even if you don't like it because I want you to be okay. But it's not like I'll keep on saying it, but I will definitely say something. But some people won't say anything if you don't ask them. And if you've not defined the relationship as one where you can hold each other accountable or where you one person can guide the other, you can't fault them for keeping quiet. So you need to have relationships with people that will be kind enough to tell you if you're making a mistake. People that will be kind enough to speak to you even if they think that's not what you want to hear. Because it takes a certain level of kindness for someone to guide you, even when they have questions about their own lives. And finally, endurance. The thing about endurance is that when you are sure that you're on a path that God has put you on, I think it enables you to endure. One of the reasons why I did endure in most of my life, but one of the reasons why I think that I couldn't really maybe endure in those jobs. I don't know. Anyway, I wasn't supposed to endure. I was out for enjoyment and I'm still out for enjoyment because God gave us all things to enjoy, but of course, we must endure when we are running our race, when we are running our race. So, knowing that you are doing that, God is the one that has put you on a certain path, it gives me some a strength to continue. Knowing that I didn't just choose this. So, it pays to build with God. And sometimes we'll get it right, sometimes we'll not get it right. But if we consistently lean into Him and pursue that relationship with Him passionately. God doesn't do half and half. If we pursue that in relationship, He will let us know, He will guide us, and He will lead us. Anyways, catch up with my other videos. I've got a playlist I put together, Building a Life That Lasts and Life on the Soft Lane. And I talk more about journeying with God in life until we go to heaven. Take care.